Okay, so one thing I've learned from podcasting and from all of you who listen is that you love productivity hacks, you love systems, and you love getting an insider scoop on what I'm doing to be more productive and purposeful with my time. So that's exactly what I've got for you today. So I'll be walking you through some simple things, both personal life things and business things that I do every Sunday to help me prepare for a productive, purposeful, and peaceful, to add another P word in there, a week ahead. So this episode is not just for business owners. So if you work a 9 to 5 and you're someone who loves this podcast but knows maybe some episodes don't apply to you, this is one that totally does. So definitely tune in. And I'm really excited to share this short and sweet, probably, episode with you. So let's dive in. Hey guys, I'm Elizabeth McCravey, a website designer and business coach for entrepreneurs and your host for the Breakthrough Brand podcast, the show that's all about pulling back the curtain on how to actually build a successful business. I don't skim the surface around here. If you want a deep dive into the nitty-gritty details of what it takes to run a successful business and stand out in a crowd, you're in the right place. After creating a multiple 6-figure-a-year website design business in my 20s, I'm ready to share everything I've learned and everything I'm still learning, because I believe the keys to building a thriving business should never be a secret. Here you'll find episodes that are actionable, direct, and fun, like friends chatting business over coffee, and a fresh, honest take on the reality of being an entrepreneur. If you're ready to master online marketing, branding, website design, mindset, and business strategy, then this is the podcast for you. It's time to build your breakthrough brand. Let's do this. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in. I'm recording this on a Monday, so it's perfect timing because I actually just did all the stuff we're talking about yesterday on Sunday. So it's especially fresh for me. These are habits that I keep every single week that really help me going into Monday feeling like I have a plan, a purpose, and I'm not flustered and stressed out. So I really don't like going into Mondays feeling behind or there's all this personal life stuff I never was able to get to and things like that. And that has happened to me plenty of times, especially on times where on Sunday I was traveling or something out of the ordinary was happening. Maybe I was hosting family or friends and they didn't leave till Sunday night or something like that. But if I can prevent it, I like to go into Mondays feeling ahead, if anything, and at the very least feeling not behind at all. And that takes on Sunday having some stuff on my agenda that is both work related and just personal life to-dos, which are also really important to help get me there. So to kind of say before we dive into these, this is not all that I do on Sundays. So for example, yesterday was Sunday, like I said, and I also went to church at 9 a.m. I went on an afternoon walk with a girlfriend at a park. It was seriously such a beautiful day. And then I took a bath at 3 p.m. because literally pregnancy achiness is such a real thing. And I had to work on that. I spent time reading. I watched an episode of Law and Order SVU just for fun. Adam and I went on a walk again after dinner. So this is not everything I do in a Sunday, but these are the things that I'm this is what helps the week ahead be productive. That's the stuff I'm sharing with you because that's what I think you'll want. So I'm just going to go no specific order, but I'm going to start with the food side of things. Like I said, this is a more personal episode. So yes, we're talking about groceries and meal planning, all that. So first up, I order groceries on Saturday to either be delivered on Saturday, Saturday afternoon, or to be delivered on Sunday morning. So I know this is a Saturday thing, but I'm still adding it in because technically the bulk of this happens on Sunday. So I use Instacart for this, which means I don't have to go to the grocery store, not even to pick it up. That's the difference between stuff like Instacart and Walmart pickup and things like that. You don't have to ever leave your house, which I really love. So the groceries get brought all the way up to my front door. And I like to order the groceries on Saturday now. I used to always wait until Sunday to order them, but Sunday is apparently when every single person in Nashville ever uses Instacart. So sometimes I'd order on, maybe Sunday at 11 a.m. thinking okay, it'll be here in a few hours like it says. but then it might take like till 5 p.m. to get the groceries, which does not work when you're trying to do the other stuff I'm going to talk about on this episode. But if I order on Saturday and like make that part of like this is something I do on Saturdays at some point, then I know the groceries will get here in plenty of time. So they'll either get here Saturday if I want that, or I might pick like 8 a.m. on Sunday or like 10 a.m. or something like that. So that is a little step before this on Saturdays in order to like make Sundays better. And I basically like for buying groceries, I decide on meals for the week I'm going to make, and I plan, the ingredients around that and based on what we already have. And I do this on Sundays too, if I like have to. And if I do it on Sundays, I try to order first thing in the morning to make sure it gets here on time. And if you're curious about Instacart, I think I have like a few more discount codes. So if you go to elizabethmccravey.com/Instacart, you can get like a free trial and $10 off your first grocery order. So check that out. It should still be active depending on when you listen to this. Okay, so continuing on the grocery conversation, next up is meal prepping. So usually the groceries get here Sunday morning, right after church or like some point on Saturday. And so then in the afternoon, I meal prep for the week. And right now it's just me and Adam that I cook for. So this would be complicated and maybe different, I know, with a bigger family to feed. But typically what I do is I make one type of crock pot thing a week and one like non-crock pot thing. I am a huge fan of crock pots, and I'm a huge fan of meal prepping and not having to like make a freshly cooked dinner every day, at 6 p.m. like that. That's just not me. So I like the crock pot a lot, and I do like cooking a lot. I just don't like want to do that every single day. So sometimes I'll prep something else too, like a quiche, for example. I really love quiches and like making one for the week ahead to like have for breakfast or lunch. So as an example, a few Sundays ago, like maybe 3 Sundays ago from when I'm recording this, I made a quiche. I made some peanut butter chocolate energy bite things, which are super yummy that you like keep in the freezer. And then I made a crock pot turkey chili. So I made those 3 things and all just back to back to back. So basically I dirtied up the kitchen once, but got 2 meals and a snack out of it and was able to, make everything messy, load the dishwasher, run it, and then I'm like done doing all that and knocked it all out at once. And again, I really enjoy cooking a lot. So like when I'm doing that, I might like turn on a TV show to watch on my iPad or watch an online course I'm taking or watch some stuff on YouTube, like whatever. But it's a really relaxing time for me. So depending on what we're cooking that week though, it's sometimes like more stuff or less stuff. So like this week, for example, yesterday, I'm doing less prepped foods and more of like making the moment type foods for our meals. So I actually did not prep much yesterday. Instead, I just made our tacos for dinner, which Adam actually helped with. I say actually as if he never helps. He totally does, which you'll hear more of in this episode. But he mostly was the one cooking the dinner last night, which was really helpful. But we made enough turkey meat to have like extras for multiple nights this week. And then for lunch, we're doing like smoothies or avocado toast or yogurt or eating out, like a lot of random options, but all stuff you just like can do in the moment. So anyway, this is a huge thing for me on Sundays. And again, it's different week to week, but it feels really awesome going into Monday with a fridge that's ready to go, where I have like meal ideas where I'm like, I know all the stuff is there for it, and I have some prepped food and less pressure to like cook a fresh meal every single day, because I just don't feel like that at the end of the workday, especially being pregnant right now. After like a long workday, I'm like, I don't want to cook like a freshly cooked meal necessarily. So it's nice having like some stuff already prepped a little bit at least to work with. Okay, next up is home care. So I always do some laundry on Sundays, and then I fold any laundry that I did not fold from that previous week. So like typically we'll run laundry at least one other time during the week, and we often don't fold it, like me or Adam. So basically I'll fold that and then run another load and fold that and kind of fold it all at once. But again, going into the week with fresh laundry is really great. Like that's such a simple thing, but it feels really nice to like have that done and not just have like piles of laundry that you have to like search through to find what to wear. We also straighten our whole house and vacuum. And I say we, but Adam's really the one who does this the most on Sundays, which I'm so grateful for. So yesterday, for example, he did all this stuff. Like he did vacuuming, sweeping, straightening, all of it, while I was doing some of the work stuff that I'm going to talk about in my next point here. But he vacuumed every room. He put stuff away that like basically just from the day-to-day of life that gets messy, like you leave books out, or like there's like I leave my like hoodies. I wear hoodies all the time, like and pullovers, just like with whatever I'm wearing, because I get cold and then I put it on, take it off, and I'll leave those around the house, so we clean up all that kind of stuff. He'll wipe down the counters, load the dishwasher, run it if it's full, all that kind of stuff. So just really simple maintenance of the home stuff. And Adam even commented last night, like it can feel like, oh, that's like a lot to do, but it only usually takes us 30 minutes in our house. Again, we don't have kids yet. I'm pregnant, but without kids yet. And I just dropped my phone. But yeah, so in our house is not like huge. So that could also be a piece of it, but it only taking 30 minutes when something like you maintain every single week, I think is really helpful. Another thing I'll add to like the home maintenance category here is that I like to clean my office on Sundays. So when I come in Monday for work, it's actually straight, because I'm kind of messy as a person. So my desk can get like wild by the end of the week. It's actually already wild, and it's only Monday morning, but I have like 2 drinks on the table. I have my full focus planner. I have like 4 different things of essential oils that are open. I have a ton of cough drop wrappers. I mean, it's kind of a lot of stuff over here. So I like to clean that up, ideally like at the end of every workday, so it never gets like horrible at the end of the week. But it feels really nice to like walk into your office Monday and it be like, okay, my desk is really nice and clean and straight, and I'm ready to start the week off on a good foot. So next category is working out. And I thought about not adding this in, but it actually relates really well because it feels like a good way to start the week, really. So I always try to do something active on Sundays, but typically something abnormal for my typical workouts and that feels more fun. Not that I don't think, I enjoy all my workouts because I really enjoy exercising, but something that feels like a little bit more abnormal, possibly more chill if that's what I'm in the mood for, or maybe more intense if I feel more like doing something intense, which has not been how I've felt lately, but something where like it's just fun. And you have more time because on a Sunday versus like a work day, you might have more time to like get in a longer workout and that sort of thing. So for example, yesterday for my exercise for the day, I went on a walk with a friend at a park by our house, and then another walk in our neighborhood with Adam after dinner. And both those things were active and really enjoyable. Another thing I'll do is I'll sometimes go to our gym and walk on the treadmill on incline while I watch the latest episode of Law & Order SVU on my iPad. So, there's new episodes on Thursdays. Those of you who watch, and that's like seriously one of my favorite shows. So anyway, there's a new episode every Thursday though. And sometimes I will like intentionally not watch it when it airs, or like not watch it Friday or Saturday to like go to the gym on Sunday, or sometimes on Saturday, but to like watch it while I just walk on the treadmill. And I seriously, when I'm watching that show on the treadmill, I feel like I could just walk forever because I'm like enjoying it so much. And so I can get in like a nice 45-minute incline walk while watching a TV show that I would otherwise just be lying on the couch watching. So that's really fun. Another one I like to do is doing like a deep yoga stretch session, just like in our house. There's a lot of things, but basically I leave Sunday as an open day for workouts, but I always like to do something active because it really does feel good going into Monday, having already worked out once. But sometimes I don't work out Sundays. This is one that I like flex more on than some of this other stuff. So the last category I want to talk through is the work stuff. So I do a little bit of work stuff on Sundays, and I do that because it helps me go into the week, like everything else I'm saying on here, feeling calm, cool, collected, and like ahead of the game. So the first work thing I always do interrupting this episode with a suggestion for the small business owners listening. Ever wonder what you should do for healthcare when you and your spouse are both self-employed, so there's no work-provided health insurance to participate in? Well, when my husband Adam joined me in the entrepreneurial job space over 4 years ago, we joined Christian Healthcare Ministries instead of getting traditional health insurance. And it was the best decision for us, especially in these years of growing and raising a family while also running multiple businesses. CHM is a health cost-sharing ministry and is a faith-based alternative to health insurance. We did tons of research before choosing CHM, and if you know me and Adam, you know we are all about doing the math when making big or small financial decisions. And even though it's not insurance, CHM shares 100% of eligible medical bills, which is more than the typical 70 or 80% of medical bills paid for by insurance companies. All sharing is determined by the CHM guidelines, which you can check out before and after joining. And for the mamas and mamas to be listening, you truly cannot find a better healthcare option for maternity care. I had a vaginal delivery and a C-section and birth center care and hospital care between my 2 pregnancies and births, and it was all 100% shared for. And outside of birth, we've had our share of emergency room visits and procedures as a family, and those costs were all shared by members at Christian Healthcare Ministries, leaving us only paying our monthly contribution. CHM is less expensive month to month than insurance, and because there's no network, you can choose your care with whichever providers best fit your family. I seriously just cannot recommend Christian Healthcare Ministries enough. You've got to check them out. Go to elizabethmccravy.com/CHM for more information. Also putting that link in the show notes, elizabethmccravy.com/CHM. Now back to the episode. As I plan my week, I look at what's on the calendar already, like what meetings do I have, what appointments, like whatever it is, and then I add stuff in on my digital calendar. And I'm not going to explain that whole process on here. I've done a whole episode on this, and it actually, like, we recast it even for the new year at the beginning of 2021. So the original was episode 46 and aired again with a new intro for the new year on episode 97. So seriously, that's an awesome episode. If you haven't listened to that one, go listen to it after this one. If this stuff's resonating with you, that one will. Again, 46 or 97, either of those work. But I do this on Sundays, not Mondays, if I can help it, because it makes me feel prepared going into the week, which is a recurring thing I keep saying. But I usually do this at the end of the afternoon, like 3 or 4 p.m., or just like right before dinner. Yesterday, I was doing this like right before dinner, so at like 5 o'clock or so. And I'll leave you to that episode to know like what all is included in this. But basically, I'm mapping out the week. I'm mapping out what I have meetings wise, what needs to get done, what priorities I should have, the different like things that I need to like get accomplished in order to keep getting towards my goals, any personal stuff I want to do. All of that kind of stuff gets put on the calendar and planned out, which usually can take anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour. Typically, I've gotten way faster at it than I used to. And I don't plan every single day necessarily. I usually leave at least one day now that's like completely free to like plan later on. And I don't do it for the weekends. And something else that goes with this now for me that I have not always used, and I'm using it in this season. I don't know if I'll use it forever, but that's like the fun thing about all these different productivity tools. You can use them for seasons and then not and whatever. But like right now, something I've been using is the Full Focus Planner. Absolutely love it. I guess this is like my 3rd quarter using it, and it's about to be my 4th quarter of using it. It's a calendar planning system where it's one planner per quarter. And if you look at one of them and see one in person, you'll see that like by the size, it's a lot of pages for one quarter. It's very extensive, which I really like. So it has you do some different like stuff you fill in at the beginning of every week to kind of recap the last week and review it, and then set goals for the week ahead. It honestly helps me do my digital calendar thing because it's like a really similar model to that, only a paper version. So usually like all day when I'm working, I have my Full Focus Planner open on my desk. I have my hand on it right now as I'm talking, but I keep it open and I'll like add stuff to it as it comes up, or like little to-dos I need to make sure I do, and I'll mark stuff off. And that's been something fun for me because I used to like kind of be like, okay, I don't really care about marking stuff off the to-do list, but I've liked it because it has helped me stay more organized in a season where I feel like I have a lot of different priorities and different things going on. So I really love that. And if you're curious to try it out or just want to look at it, if you go to elizabethmccravy.com/full, so FULL-focus, you can get a link. It'll redirect you and you can get $10 off your first order of anything from the shop. But I would highly recommend the planner. I just ordered new ones for myself and for my team for this next quarter, and they're just really fun. So highly recommend. Okay, so on to the next work thing, the inbox. That might feel crazy to some people, but I like to go through my inbox and reply to some messages on Sundays. And I scheduled them to go out Monday morning, so I'm not actually like blowing up people's inboxes on Sunday. But it's helpful to me, and I like doing this because I don't like to have to start my Monday in the inbox like coming in to like 40 emails on my personal inbox and however many on our main one and having to sort through all of them. That takes so much time. And instead, I love being able to come into Monday doing something like actually on my to-do list. So like for today, the first thing I did was I recorded a podcast, which felt really great to like get that done. That's one of the things that I was on like my must-dos today. So I like doing that. And I should add too, I'm not the main manager of the inbox for my company anymore, which I love. We have an amazing person who manages like customer support in the inbox. Her name is Stacy, and she absolutely rocks it. But I still get plenty of emails that come to like my personal inbox, which Stacy still has access to, but a lot of them are ones that like I need to deal with for whatever reason. Like it could be a client who's like a one-on-one client or something that's like just meant for me, or even like my grandparents emailing me, like something like that. So I like to go through it. And another thing is like, y'all know this, I'm sure you can relate, but I'm on so many email lists for like, especially like online boutiques and things like that, but they send so many emails over the weekend. So a lot of times what I'm doing is just like delete, or clicking on it if I want to see what it is. And a lot of times too, I'll take that as a time to like unsubscribe because again, I'm not in the heat of like the work moment of like a big to-do list. I'm like, I have time to do this on a Sunday. I'm going to go through the like 5,000 promotional emails and like figure out what to do with them. So I do like doing a little bit of inbox stuff on Sundays. And again, it's not that much time. It might be like 20 minutes of my time just to like sort through it real quick. And I don't necessarily respond to everything, but I will like respond to a few and schedule them. Or if it was something more urgent, I might like send it right then. But most of the time I prefer to schedule stuff. And the last work thing I do is I process any Etsy orders that came in over the weekend. So my sweet little Etsy shop where I sell coffee mugs, it is a side hustle and it's such a joy, but it also is a side hustle. So I like being able to deal with it on the weekends as much as possible, especially in like a slow season for the Etsy shop right now. My crazy months are like October, November, and December. But, at other times of the year, it's a lot slower. So I will like, and people like to order stuff on the weekends. Like it's an online shop type situation. So normally if I wait till Monday, there might be a few orders sitting there that came in over the weekend. So I like to process all of them and like check in on like, okay, are there any messages in that for the Etsy shop? Are there any orders that I need to mark as sent and all that kind of stuff? So I check in with that and do anything I need to do there. And the last thing I'll add that I do on Sundays, this really plays into like the purposeful week aspect of it all, but I love going to church on Sundays. That's the day our church meets. We normally like to go to the 9 a.m. service. And if we don't go to church for whatever reason, I like to make sure that I'm spending time in the Word and in prayer and in whatever devotional book or book of the Bible I'm reading at the time. And that certainly helps me have a purposeful week. I also will typically do some sort of meditation if I have time. I've been really into meditating lately, again, being pregnant and like preparing for birth and trying to be able to learn more of the skill of like going inward. And I love meditating. I always have, but I gotten out of the habit of it at times. So I often will use my meditation app. I'm using an app called Expectful right now, which is literally for pregnancy, trying to conceive, and postpartum, which is really cool. And the meditations in it are seriously just so fun, so awesome. There's a lot of hypnobirthing stuff in there as well. So usually I'll do one of those at some point on Sunday, whether that's like Sunday night or Sunday morning even. But yeah, church, spending time in the Word, and doing some sort of like meditation and like quiet time with myself are all really important things. So those are the main things, you guys. And by the end of all of it, when Monday comes, I feel prepared. I have a clean house. I have food ready to rock. I know exactly what's on my agenda. Plus, I've already accomplished a few things that would otherwise be like daunting me on Monday morning, like the inbox or Etsy orders and things like that. And I've spent time typically with friends, with my husband, and with the Lord to like really help me feel that purposefulness and like fulfillment going into the week. So this was a short episode, which I absolutely love. I feel like I'm so long-winded. I never get under like the 20-minute mark. So anyway, I hope this episode is impactful to you guys and that you'll try some of this stuff. See what it could look like to add some of these structures into your Sunday or your Saturday or your Friday or your Monday, even depending on what your schedule looks like. And I hope for you, it does the same thing for me of helping you feel more prepared and feel that your week is set up to be more purposeful. So that is it, you guys. Again, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back next week for another episode. Thank you for listening to the podcast this week, friend. I appreciate you being here. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, I want to tell you about something. I would encourage you to check out my website template shop. Over on elizabethmccravey.com, you'll find Show It website templates, and they are easy to use, strategically designed, and created to help you book more clients and customers. Maybe your current website is really boring. I don't know, maybe it is, and maybe you don't want to hurt its feelings, but you know it's true. And your website needs to be strategically and intentionally designed in order for it to convert your viewers into raving customers. And that's what these website templates do on MShop. These are pre-made website templates built for the Show It platform where you can plug and play your content into the template with ease and then get started with a website that is made to actually make you money. Isn't that what we all want, right? So go shop the templates at elizabethmccravey.com/shop. That link is also in the show notes. And don't forget that you can actually subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening so that you never miss an episode. And I would so appreciate it if you left a rating and review for the show on Apple Podcasts, or even just share it with a friend. It's a great way to support the show and then give us your feedback. So thanks so much for listening.